only hits you when you try to stop it.
Right.
Right. And then you're like, how do I get into the cycle? Like, why can't I stop this particular med?
Yeah.
And so that's a lot of times when they finally come into my office and they'll go to their PCP and their PCP will be like, I don't know what to do to help you. I'm not sure how, like, I don't know how you got onto this. I don't know how to get you off of it. But for patients that are at a higher dosing, it does require hospitalization.
So that brings up a good question. How does the dependency form in relation to opiates?
How does the dependency form in relation to opiates? So the theory that we have right now is that it's not an opioid dependency, it's a dopamine dependency.
Okay.
And that dopamine dependency is where all of the symptoms come from because it's not the classic diarrhea, abdominal cramping,
Sure.
and all of those things. What you're classically seeing is the restlessness and the uneasiness and the inability to move.
Okay. So is there a component of anxiety when they're coming off of it?
Yeah, it's because they can't stop moving.
Okay.
Right. And so that goes back to the dopamine side of it. Like what I'm more interested in, right? Because your podcast called My Last Relapse,
Mm-hmm.
right? And so the audience for this is addicts and alcoholics in early sobriety.
Mm-hmm.
And like, what are we telling them in terms of like, what's the warnings around that? Like, how quickly can you go down that road and how quickly can you form a dependency upon it, right? And my response would be probably in a couple of months. It's not something that you should be messing with in early sobriety or in any portion of your sobriety. Because I've seen old timers come in that were hooked on this too. So
Really?
the other population is old timers. Like I can think of like 4 guys that have come through and they have had long-term sobriety. Like I'm talking 20 years. And they're like, I don't know how this happened, right? Like,
So question, does that break your sobriety?
I don't know. I think you define your sobriety, but
Right.
of the 3 guys that I know that had the long-term sobriety, they all said yes.
Oh, okay.
They all picked up desireships on that.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's up to them, right? I don't define their sobriety, right? Like I mean, I've had people tell me that they've got, 30 years of sobriety, but they also just are like abusing their oxycodone, right? I'm
Right.
like, okay, I haven't had a drink, right? I don't know. I'm not one to, I can't define your sobriety for you, right?
Yeah.
The chip says to thine own self be true.
Yeah, for sure. So it's a very slippery slope,
Yeah.
right? And to kind of like full circle this, it's very dishonest, the marketing practices around this specifically. Do you know if like kids are actually taking this stuff? Is there like, do you got to be 18 to buy it? No.
It's in this. I know in the smoke shops you need to be 18 to go into a smoke shop,
Right. But it's
right?
at
But
gas
it's also
stations.
available at gas stations and at health food stores, right? So
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know if kids have easy access to this. I do know that like they are buying them from each other.
There's
Right?
like
Like,
Kratom dealers out
Yeah,
there.
and I've seen that. I've seen episodes of that like on TikTok about like kids going around and like selling Kratom to other kids.